Welcome to the Party Crafter Podcast. I am so happy to be here today. I am Leslie Frederick, and this is my husband, Mike Frederick. You do have far as a name. Or here, he is part owner for us, the Party Crafter, and we do make party decor, talk about Forest party decor business, tips and tricks, and offer DIY service. But we definitely just talk about like business and all things party decor and celebration.
Yes, and today is an even more exciting version of the podcast because one, we have had a little bit of a layoff, haven't been too consistent. We're going to get better. But we also, this is the first podcast that we are actually videoing. So we're breaking new ground here.
Yes, yes.
So it's not just a podcast audio, we are on video.
Yes, video. So usually I am in scrubs things with adhesive, nothing fancy, and you're not going to get anything fancy. You're going to get the raw and true as far as the business. And one good thing is we work from home. Now, we do have our day jobs, but years ago, we decided, a couple years ago, because we're not ready yet to retire, but we're thinking about it, and we have been blessed to have a good day job. But with the cost of living, it doesn't matter if you're whatever you're making. If you're making six figures, it's just not enough. And I started thinking about retiring. And I mean, I'm just going to say this, for some people, I would go to the grocery store and I would see some people in their 60s and 70s, and I said, I do not want to be that person. They look so tired. And it seems like you should want to enjoy your life. Now, I'm just saying, if that's for you and that's what you want to do, you go on, God bless you, and keep it moving. But for me, I did not want to do that. I wanted to travel. I seem like a lot of people, we just work and work all the time. We're not enjoying life. And I did not want to be that 60, 70%, even though I made it Social Security enough for anything, medicine, anything could happen. Am I going to have enough to retire? So I decided to start and I opened an Etsy shop. And we were, far as, not even say it's not even empty nesters, because our son was off to college, so I didn't have a kid. And I don't know why I went to party decor, because I started doing events for family and friends. That's how I learned Cricut, and I built from that. But I wasn't watching what was trending as far as like cartoons, knew what was in, but I knew I could work this machine, Cricut, and I could make something and I could learn. I knew anything. With anything out of doubt, I knew one thing for sure. I wanted something online, and I wanted the ability to work from my home. And I wasn't thinking anything astronomical, just something extra. It was nothing. And 8 years later, we have had where a six-figure far as in sales, not far as in sales, and the business is growing and the business is changing and things like that. So Mike and I, one part of the podcast, we wanted to share that to other people, because I know there are other people out there like us that want to do something from home, either full-time or part-time, and they're like, how? So that's the real important reason of this podcast. And today, one of the things that's really important about it, because we're going to talk about confidence, because some people don't even have the confidence to even open up far as Etsy shop, but one far as Instagram, social media. And right now, I'm going to dig with the one with the social media today, and we're going to dig with, I'm going to talk about Instagram, but you can put this on all the platforms, how to deal with the confidence, because we'll have other podcasts, look at other podcasts where like opening up the Etsy shop. But today we're going to be talking about confidence, because I've had a lot of followers. If you go follow me on in the Party Crafter at Instagram or TikTok, and also subscribe to us on YouTube, I got a lot of stuff like, how do you have the confidence? Because I'm 57 years old. How do you have the confidence to get on social media and things like that. And I'm going to tell you that to sell your crafts, whether or sell your product or service. So how do you get to do that? So that's one of the key things.
How do you get to do that?
How do you get to do that? Yes. So on here. So that's what we're gonna be discussing for us today. And it's one great thing also about Farce Podcast. You see, Mike does that. Working with your loved one. That's really hard sometimes. So we'll talk about that. That's going to be an upcoming podcast because we have to deal with that because he thinks one way and I think another way. But today it's going to be on the confidence. So I have confidence to love him even when he moves this mic in front of my face. So let the church say amen.
You got to hear what you're saying. So that's why I got these on. I'm trying to make sure the sound, not just the video so we look pretty, but so the audio when people are just listening to the podcast or driving and they can actually hear what we're saying. So, but I wanted to touch back what you said earlier about you see people in the stores. I think you're referring to the people that are maybe struggling with it. Like they feel compelled that they have to do that instead of, it's a big difference of having to do something and getting to do something. I think you were referring to the people that they have to do something just to make ends meet. Whereas if you try to develop something, whether it's a side hustle or another, you create your own business, you get to do it because it's something you want to do and it's a get to rather than a have to. The have to is the Monday mornings you got to drag yourself into work, the office, whatever your place of employment is like, the weekend went by so fast and here I am back in the grind. Versus, hey, I'm doing this thing and it's a lot of fun. Maybe I don't make a lot of money at the beginning, but I get to do it. So I think that's probably a big component into building confidence of what you're getting into.
Well, it can be that way because sometimes there's people, and I've heard people like, I love to bake. And I do love to cook and stuff, so I get to do something that I love doing. And so then I can just do it and put it on another platform. So that's why also with the Party Crafter, we're talking about a lot of businesses too, so in hand, because you can use this, what we're saying, if it far as to help you for whatever it was, whether party decor, baking, our brother-in-law, he's a wood craftsman, he makes woods and things like that, so whatever you want to do. So it's a lot of people, hey, you know what? I'm a tree collector, or I like working with wood, or I love sewing, whatever. And this is really what I want to do, but my day job, pays the bills. So we definitely get that. And there are some people that are passionate about that, and you can incorporate that and launch far as an online business. So I'm going to go back to that because you said far as passion. But there's some people like, I really don't have a passion. You say, dude, I got to do it. Well, I mean, math is not adding up. But what they say, the math isn't mathing. If my daytime job, and I'm doing my 40 hours a week, and some people may have overtime, I don't have that, is not making enough, I have to get and generate some other income. So that's something that I have to do. So for me, if I have to do that, I'd rather do it from my home. So whether or not far as, okay, do I love it? Hey, I love my lights on. I love my mortgage paid. I love my cable, my roof over my head. So those are the things. So sometimes you may not fall in that scenario where you love it, but you will love, like, you know what? It pays the bills. And sometimes you have to do certain things to really fall into your passion, because your passion could be many different things. So, I mean, that's my thought on it, but you do have to do. So whether you're doing this because, hey, I love doing this, this is my hobby, or, hey, no, I have to do something, you can fit into scenario. But one thing I'm going to tell you, especially being someone that's 57, in business and marketing, and I have a degree in marketing and business. However, I'm in IT. So it's totally different. So I have a degree in information technology and software engineer. So I've totally trained the spectrum. So I have a lot of business skill set, and then you bring in far as the IT far as skill set. Not on a developer standpoint, but far as like on requirements and digging in analysis. So I'm always looking. I'm a researcher. Michael will say I research so much, but I will sit and say, far as with social media, when I look at it and compare it against the 80s and 90s, which wasn't in existence, but from a marketing standpoint, from a business, you used to have to pay for it. If, oh man, the young me, and it could do it for free right now, such as Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and promote my business, I would be something else. But as we say, God does things at God's time and when things happen. So when I look at people today, as far as the young people that have more of the energy, if you are not using social media, you can be resistant if you want to. It's going to be like the yellow pages. It's gone. And that was one of the reasons why we started. Because when I opened the Etsy shop, in 2017, I was not on social media for various reasons. One, I didn't like social media. In my line of business, I really had to be on low-key far as being on social media, but now I don't really far as care because I'm at a different phase in my life, so I'm on social media, and I didn't. I was getting business, plenty of business from Etsy all by myself, so because I knew how to set up the SEO and tags and things like that. So that was far as fine, and I was happy with that because I could control the business. But then the business grew, and then also as the business grew, then you start looking at your real numbers, because you got the Etsy fees and everything, and you're like, okay, is this really you want to change the trajectory of the business? Like, hey, this business actually could supersede my day income that I'm punching in, where, hey, I love working from my home. We work from our basement, everything here. I am not interested in getting a business, warehouse, anything like that. God would have to tell me, you might have to just whisper him, I don't know. I don't want no devil on my shoulder. But you remember the old cartoons? Just tell me like, hey, open this up because I'm staying in my basement. I like my house. It is comfortable. And we can do what we want to do. Technology here from home. So you have to. So getting the confidence is on it. One is getting the mindset. That is something to do. Things have changed. You don't have to be far as a lot of people are like, oh, I don't feel pretty. I don't look handsome, this or that. And you're constantly comparing to people that are already up here. But you forget that everybody has to start. I don't get into looks or anything like that. As far as I'm concerned, this is a business. So, you know what? Once I put my face on there, and especially someone that has worked in IT on that, and you make yourself vulnerable and you're posting your page, you're exposed to the world. And you know what? I don't care. It's a business. Because unless you have my personal phone number or a key to my house, the most important thing is those are the people that's real important. I'm doing a service. This is a business. I'm sharing information to people on that. Am I human? Yes, but I know it comes with it, and that comes far as with time. The most harshest critic that you're going to have a confidence is yourself, not from anybody else. That's because we're constantly comparing, and we all struggle with that. So on that. So with the confidence first one, yes, you're going to have to tackle if you have far as a business and get on social media, and there's plenty of ways that you can do that. And far as start, I think I said a mouthful, Michael, on that part. What do you think?
Well, I definitely think everybody can relate in 2024, no matter how much money you're making, because some people are making more money than they've ever made in dollars. But those dollars certainly don't go as far as they used to. And depending on where you are demographically, how long you've been around, some of us remember back when gas used to be change to how much it was per gallon, 50, 60 cents. I know as a kid, I remember because my great grandfather owned a gas station. I remember like 30, 40 cents a gallon. I mean, that's going back a little ways. But regardless of where you are on the spectrum, your dollars are not going as far as they used to.
They
So
definitely
everybody
not
can
going
relate
there.
to that.
Definitely not. And I can't remember gas being 40 cents, but I can remember the movies being 50 cents. That's about it. So I don't
And
know
you could
what
watch
happened.
them back to back. You didn't have to leave the theater. You would watch the movie and they would play it again. You could just stay there and watch it again.
Okay, now I don't know. Maybe where you
I
went,
remember
maybe
that.
where you went to the movies, they allowed you. But where I went to the movies after the movie was over, they told you you had to go. So anyway, that's what I'm saying. But I guess they did watch you back to back on here. But anyway, let's get far with how to share, especially your crafting, and how to share it on social media such as Instagram, because people really need to share your story. So sometimes you may not have the confidence to start showing your face. You are camera shy. But you can start doing things like doing behind the scenes or just showing things like with your hand. Like for me, I make a lot of crafts, so a lot of my videos, I am in there, but the only thing you see are my hands making items. And I'm either I'm talking. A lot of times we edit after the shot. So those are ways you build your confidence, and as you build and build, far as more. And people like to see your journey. Don't focus on perfection, because if you focus on perfection, it's going to be wrong. People like to see that, hey, you make mistakes or things like that. You are growing. You are learning. I mean, we constantly, and definitely me, I am constantly learning coaching. I do have coaching that I provide for the party crafter, but I get coached too as well. So, and I don't have a problem telling anybody that, because I never want anyone like, oh, I have it all, got it all together, because that's for sure not, because you have to be learning on a daily basis and stuff like that. So with the social media, if you lack confidence to start, because not you don't want to show your face until you build that up. Maybe far as like when you're filming like your hands, or you creating or putting something together, or just the behind the scenes. Every day for us is content. It doesn't matter, and you get used to it. I mean, actually, people would sit and say, "I'm an introvert," and because really on that, like, how do you become an introvert and then you're on film? Right now, I just got them like, I don't care, and I'm gonna tell you guys. Once those checks of money, I'm like, people are paying us to watch us from TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and I'm like, to watch us? Like, okay, sure. You know what? And some people, I don't even get like, well, the first couple of checks when you first get in it, oh, it's $1, it's $9. We're going to be truthful how much it is, because we're not going to sit and sugarcoat like, oh, get quick rich. No, it's work, but it's yours and you control it. And we're in a different time. It's almost like, you know what? Get in now. So, that's another whole new topic. We got so much information. And it's just not emotion. It's going to be far as facts. And you can nowadays, everyone is accepted for what they do and they have a message. Do not worry about if you're doing far as a craft and somebody else makes it. Like for us, like for me, I make party decor, so centerpieces, cake toppers. I don't worry that the girl next door makes them too. So what? It's over 1 billion people in the world. She can't make them for everybody. You can't. What makes you far is different. So yes. So don't focus on that. And that's just far as key. But with social media, you have to, because either you get on the bus on that, or you'll be left behind. And that's where we are. Technology is moving quick, 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 quick. That's the hard part, keeping up with everything. And when you get into AI and different stuff like that, those are tools that you can use to help you organize as far as your content and stuff. But and that's another far as podcast. But I get so excited about it. But with the confidence on here, if you lack confidence to show your face, my suggestion is, start doing things like just showing your hand or recording as you get confidence on there. And people like to see your journey. So even if you don't have a sale or you're start showing you starting to make something. Start your journey. It could even be, I'm buying materials. I'm going to the craft store. I'm going to Home Depot to get lumber for whatever you're making. I'm starting. That's the key thing.
Yeah, there's lots of creators that create video content that's faceless. They don't show they're behind the camera. Like she said, you may just see your hands, or you just may see the creating of whatever they're creation is, whatever their niche is, and you're out, you're just filming about. There's plenty of content creators that are creating from strictly behind the camera and not just showing their face. So there's definitely ways to utilize the platforms without showing your face, if that's something you choose to do.
Yes, and you can definitely do that. Now, one of the things, since we're talking about far as Instagram, and then you get into like confidence, what type of account do I want? Like a business account, or they have two, or a creator account, because you can't far as with a personal account, and you get into things like far as music and stuff that you want. If you want to do a business account, that is going to be another far as YouTube will talk about on that. But we have far as a creator account, and where we can use trending sounds and stuff like that. And those are far as the two accounts far. So you have to make the decision what's best for you. But we use the creator account, and we do use trending sounds and stuff like that. So that's really easy. And another thing far as just getting confident for us, I joined far as the crafting community, because you have other crafters. So for whatever skill set, you'll find out that whatever your niche is, there is a community on there. Now, I'm going to say there's some people that are like hush everything, they're to themselves, and that's fine. And I don't deal with those people. And I don't even follow them, because some people in the beginning, I'm going to be honest, when we first started out, and I think I had like 100 followers, and certain people I would follow and comment, and they wouldn't. And that's just like, hey, high school little stuff. People don't want to follow you until you made a bunch of numbers. And I just would think it's just the most craziest, stupidest thing ever. But it happens, and you don't take it personal. You just like, oh, okay, you guys have your little cliques. That's fine. And you know what? I built my own audience. I found a community that like what I do, that could resonate with me, and that was fine. And once you lose your focus on what other people are doing or how many followers they have, oh my goodness, and get that off there, you can create. Now, that's one of the things as far as confidence in that work for me. I mean, once I just dropped it, like years ago, I would look at one person, I like their work, and I'm like, but that's not me. I could do that, but I had to be me. And people can tell when you are not you and not being authentic yourself.
Well, that's a good point, because I know you followed a number of people, and you're drawn. I think that's another aspect that could help guide you into what you may be stronger in and building confidence. Where see who you're attracted to, see who you like to follow. What do they do? What about them? There's like, yeah, I like that. And not that you have to mimic them or try to be a copy of them, but that'll give you a clue as to insight about yourself. You're like, I really like something about that person, what they do or how they do it. And that's something in me that I want to bring out and manifest more of. So I think that's something you should pay attention to internally. Like, what channels am I drawn to? What people am I drawn to? And that'll help reinforce and strengthen things that you want to bring out of yourself. So, did you find that the case where some of the people that you were really drawn to and
No, some of the people, but the one person I was drawn to, I liked the work, which was good, but it was something about the personality, so that would never mesh. So that didn't really work.
But that's
for me.
That's distinguishing the work from the person
Yes,
that
the
you're
work.
drawn
I mean,
to.
that work was good, and I was like, at the end, it was fine. You just keep on, like, hey, all right. Just saying. There's just nothing on there. Because I don't do clicks. I don't do clicks, and I love supporting people, and I want to see everyone, win, just period, especially in a time, because I'm talking from the regular folks. Now, all these other people in other places, but just us regular, hard-working, everyday folks just trying to make a living. I'm talking to us. Common folks. We just trying. I'm not trying to flash boat. You're not going to see me. That's fine. If that's your hustle, that's your thing, showing all the money. I'm not going to be laying on no car or anything like that. That's it. Because, I want my driveway paved, gutters. We too old for that. Everybody has different things. We're at a different stage in our life. But I'm not far as for clicks. I'm respectful, nice of you, but that's just part of social media, and you'll see that. And especially to me, I think if you're older, other than the fear of technology, the bull crap that comes with it, if you have it, you dismiss that because you didn't been through that as an adult. And as young people, don't worry about it. If somebody don't like it, that means you're doing something well. Keep moving. That's all I got to say about that. So hopefully on that one. But far as your Instagram, so either open a business or a creative far as account and join a community. There will be a community for you. So I did find some other crafters that I could work with, and it was great. And I'm still working with far as today that are genuine and stuff like that. So it's nothing at all. So that's one of the things that I like about it. So confidence. So I want to sit and say confidence. Okay, as far as the camera, whether you shy or not, we handle that. So how about confidence far as filming? And that is a big one, filming, because people get really scared to film. They may feel that I don't have the right camera, I don't have the lighting. We deal with that because we work in our basement, and it can get gloomy. I mean, and it's a pet peeve in how he thinks and how I think. It's just typical man-woman thought. I'm like, no, it doesn't look right. And he's like,
It's fine. It's fine. Let's go.
He's like the man that
Let's
10
go.
seconds later.
We gotta keep it going.
Yeah, keep it moving on here. So it's totally far as.
Well, here's the struggle I think everybody's going to go through in any facet of their life. If they're trying to accomplish something or achieve something, you've heard the paralysis of analysis. You're trying to make sure everything's perfect before you do anything. And guess what? You do nothing because it's not perfect. It's not going to be perfect. And even when it's really good, it's not perfect. But as long as you're progressively improving, the fact that you're moving, yeah, the lights aren't perfect right now, but we'll get better. The sound might not be exactly perfect, but we're doing it. We're going to make it better. So as you do it, you're going to get better. But you don't want to get stuck at the start line and not do anything because you're like, oh, it's just not perfect enough. I want to wait for the perfect zenith moment where all the stars line up. No, it's not going to happen. So I think that's where we part ways on something. You want everything to be just right before we do anything.
Just right for me.
And it's not going to happen. But it's not going to happen.
But we need to go back to this. So I guess you would, that still had that definition of paralysis of the analysis or something. Because I never heard of that. So if you've heard of that, drop a chat, paralysis.
I think Jesse Jackson said that back in 1980 something. So.
I was in school, elementary, somewhere.
You were not in elementary school.
Well, in the 80s. Well, you ain't got to date me, but I was in school. So I don't remember that paralysis of the analysis or paralysis. I don't know. I guess you were saying
the point
that.
Is,
don't get stuck.
Action is what's needed. And you can find, you're trying to make it as best you can, but the moment you're like not doing anything because you're just waiting until it's just right, it ain't happening. Do it, screw up, make it better the next time you do it. That's one step in front of the other. Journey of 1,000 miles begins with the first step.
Oh, I don't know, because I'm not
one step.
Journey 1,000 miles. I'm sort of thinking, am I walking 1,000 miles or am I driving 1,000 miles? Either way.
The point is, you don't think of the 1,000 miles. You think of the first step. That's the point. That distills this whole little.
Okay, so I guess at the end of the day, what we're saying is, you got to take a step, and you guys heard it. You got to do something. Consistency. You have to start. You can start. It's easy ways. Don't get hooked on what you see from others. Just start. Turn your camera on. It could be your phone. Most of us have smartphones. If you have a camera, you don't have to invest in the most expensive camera or anything like that. And you can start. You know what? If it's real important, it's something where you want to make a change in your life, it's something that you should do. only you can make the change in far as direction. It's not going to fall out of the sky and do it. Stop looking at what other people are doing and invest in yourself. I'm always if I'm going to be watching YouTube or something, I'd rather somebody be watching me and paying me. And that's the same thing for as Instagram, and that same thing for YouTube as well. So again, just far as start.
We've all got our gifts. We don't have the same gifts. We all have our gifts, and I think it's up to share it with the world. Whatever your gift is, your gift isn't our gift, or my gift isn't your gift. Everybody's got their own gift. God's given us our own gifts, and whatever that is, you should share it with the world.
You share it with the world. And I'm going to end with this, but I'm going to have a part 2 on this, because also I did say far as it's the confidence on the social media, but I'm also going to talk about in another video of far as the income and the various sources, because like we started, our whole platform was on Etsy, and that is really scary when you rely on one whole platform. It is not your platform, it's a reliable platform, and I suggest people using it too as well, but you have no control. That is not your customer on that. People are looking at Etsy. So with our business, it was Leslie Party Supply, but we changed it to the Party Crafter, and that's another far as video on that. But it's still Leslie Party Supply on Etsy. It was their customer on that. People don't look on there. They don't go Leslie Party. Some people may, or they may have saved it to their favorites or something if they get as far as account. But pretty much they're logging onto Etsy and they're looking for something. So one thing with social media is where I can push that traffic to our website where it's ours, and we have more control. I can add more value, and I can save more money in our pocket. That was one of the key things, and also generate income. So not only are you getting income from selling far as your product or your service, you'll be getting money far as monetize, and you have the ability, if you're offered far as the ability to monetize from these social media far as platforms. So it is key. You are winning all along the way. I mean, you're getting money from here. Does it happen overnight? No. Does it happen if you put in the work? Absolutely. And you do things far as right? Yes, it will happen, but it's not far as like overnight. Now, it may happen to some people. If that's you, drop it in a comment. You can sit and tell me what you want to do. We would love to have you on the podcast because you can share. Sharing is caring. Somebody said that. But you can do that. But it does, far as happen. It all depends on what you're focused on. So if that's what you're focused on, far as doing that and generating that income, that's what will happen. But you have to do it.
And confidence is built on, because when we first opened up the Etsy shop, none of this was envisioned. The podcast,
Yes,
the video that we're doing, the partycrafter.com website now. None of that was it. The courses, that was never even a consideration.
No,
that was just, we got these crafts, and we got a few of these centerpieces that we're kind of specializing in the beginning. They're selling. Okay, we just got to build them, put them together, ship them out, and that was the thing. That was like, okay, we got really good at that. Well, now what can we do? Now that confidence was strengthened, and we built upon it. Now we got the website. Now we got the podcast. Now we're actually videoing. So none of that was planned or envisioned when you first opened up the Etsy shop. That all blossomed.
And not at all. It was not even at all. I just wanted a couple sales. I wasn't even. It wasn't even that. I didn't even in like a collection. It wasn't even at all. So and it just happened, and we're thankful and blessed, and we're at a different phase of the business where we're changing. So none of it is, Michael is definitely correct. So, and we're building confidence because we're learning. We're in unknown territory on here for us. So this is a confidence thing for us. We're learning about that too as well. So
taking another step.
Taking another step. We're taking another step. And it's not easy, but we're taking another step because we're looking at what we want, how we see our lives. So those are really the key things. So I am so glad that we had Farz's talk, and I hope a couple snippets of confidence that we said that you can apply that to your lives, as far as for your business, as far as social media. First of all, it's a tool. Use it. You have to in today's to be productive on that. It's one thing, technology is here. So you can have a faceless Fars account, or you can show your face or grow into it. It's different ways depending on what you do. And you can gain your confidence. The more you record, the more confidence you will have. I can tell you that for sure. It happens.
Yeah, and we definitely would love to hear your feedback, whether you're just listening on the podcast or if you're watching us. Leave comments, questions, what topics you want to hear, what feedback do you have on what we just said. We'd love to hear that and respond to it, and we look forward to building on what we're doing right here.
Yes, we do. So, again, thank you for joining the Party Crafter podcast, and we can't wait to talk to you next week.
See you
Have a
next
blessed
time.
day.
Bye-bye.